As we head into the final stretch of 2022, let's look at Toronto's October real estate numbers and the hot rental market. Before I get into the details, I did a quick search online for real estate and holy moly, you would think we are in a deep depression. Absolutely, the real estate market is down from the peak earlier in 2022, but keep in mind late 2020 and 2021 were abnormal and unsustainable. We need to stop comparing data to those 2 years. Looking at the overall trend the past 8, 9, 10 years is a better indicator. Okay, that was my soapbox speech for the day. Okay, so we'll start with the detached. And again, this data that I track is specifically for the city of Toronto. So detached in the 416, semi-detached in the 416, the city, and central condos only. And we'll get into that one. Now, for the detached in the 416 or the city of Toronto, you can see in October, the average price slightly went up, nothing too significant, nothing too crazy, as the months of inventory drop. So again, as months of inventory drops, prices go up. That's the way it works with the market pricing, as well as the what's available for sale. So to scroll down, you can see here, if you look at October 2022, there were 599 sales. The average was 1.609, a little bit higher than September from 1585, 19 days on the market. And you can see it's down approximately 11% compared to October of 2021. So if you look at 1609 for October 2022 compared to 1.785 October 2021, which was a crazy year in the real estate market. And I don't know, we can look at October 2020, which was 1.471. So this is where the things started to pick up and heat up in 2020. But you can see it's all about perspective, because if you look at it compared to 2020, you probably think, wow, it's up by 130,000, average. Or if you look at it from 2021, you're like, wow, it dropped by 11%. So again, it's perspective. And this is why, I like to look at the big picture and the overall trend for the real estate markets. I realize here I'm only showing 2018, but, I like to look at longer trends and see how prices average and sales and all that type of information. Now let's move to the semi-detached. Similar trend, the months of inventory dropped. You can see the price went up a little bit, nothing too crazy. If you looked at my previous video, I did make a comment. I believe moving forward, the real estate market in the city will tread along, just going along for the next little while until the economy stabilizes or we have a clear sense of the direction where things are heading. But not seeing a significant further drop in prices, because all of that has happened earlier when the interest rates, if you look at March, February, March 2022, and this is where the Bank of Canada started getting very aggressive, and this is where you see the big drop in prices, and it did bottom out here in September, but you can see it's coming back up. I think it'll just continue flat, moving along a little bit up, a little bit down, well into next year, and then who knows what's going to happen in the second half of 2023. But again, for the semi-detached in the 416, we had 201 sales. Average was around 1.22, median 1.15, 15 days, 2 weeks on the market. And if you compare it to October of 2021, it's down by 8.4%. If you look at it October 2020, it was 1.154. Now it's 1.219. So again, it depends on what you compare it to, and you can play it to make the numbers look good or look bad. Now for central condos 416. So again, this is Bloor to DVP, down to the lake, west to Dufferin. So central core, no Etobicoke, no Scarborough, no Yonge and Sheppard, none of those areas. So here we can see the months inventory went up, prices did come down. And again, it's got that negative correlation between these two. As supply goes up, or I should say inventory goes up, then prices come down and vice versa. So if you look at October 2022, 573 sales, average 788, median 690, 24 days in the market. And if you compare it to October 2021, not much of a drop, 1.2% in the average price. And again, the reason is condos are the most affordable option for home buyers to get into city living. And this is why you see minimal, I should say less, not as much fluctuation in pricing compared to detached and semi-detached in the city of Toronto. You know, that's kind of reflected here. I know it depends on the scale, but the drop in pricing has not, percentage-wise, has not been as aggressive or as deep as the detached and semi-detached since the peak of February or March of 2022. Let's summarize the real estate market and the rental market. First, for the real estate market, it looks like we'll end up at the lowest sales in the past 12 years or so, since 2010. We'll probably end up around 75,000 sales. 2021 was at 121,000, which was off the chart. I choose to look at it from a glass half full perspective. For 2023, with the Bank of Canada increasing its benchmark rate by 3.5 percentage points at the time of recording this video, I believe the majority of the increases have been completed. Yes, there will be more increases moving forward, but I don't believe the economy can take another 3.5 percentage points increase in the benchmark rate. Based on that, I believe the real estate sales and activity will pick up towards the second half of 2023. Now, with respect to the rental market, let me give you some figures. The average one-bedroom condo in central Toronto rented for about 2,550 in Q3. Two-bed condo in central Toronto rented for over 3,400, and bachelors rented for 2,100. Real estate investors, I have a question for you. You can buy at a lower price. You can buy without competing in multiple offers. Your rental incomes are through the roof and expected to further increase as less buyers qualify to buy in this city. What are you waiting for? The X factor which will put upward pressure on house prices and rental markets is immigration. The federal government announced they will increase the number of newcomers to 500 million by 2025, which isn't too far away, due to labor shortage. In 2021, we had 405,000 newcomers. This population growth will put pressure on housing, schools, healthcare, infrastructure such as roads and public transportation. We're not building enough homes to accommodate the population growth, which will result in higher housing and rental pricing. If you've enjoyed this video, check out our Toronto Houses Cheaper Now, where I answer this trick question. And until next time, happy home hunting.